Good morning, one and all. I am Sujata Ravi, working as Assistant Professor in SGM College, Karad. Today, this is my second lecture of quality management. In the first lecture, that is the topic of the day is quality tools, and the first lecture we will see what is the meaning of the quality, what is meant by quality, which factors affect the quality, definitions of quality. Then we have dimensions of quality. These are dimensions given by Garvin in 1987. Garvin by 1987. And quality dimensions are performance, then reliability, durability, serviceability, aesthetic, perceived quality. Then we have conformance of standards and features. Okay, so these are the 8 dimensions of quality which we see in the last lecture. Okay, so in today's lecture, first we will see what is statistical process control. What is statistical process control? So in a statistical process control, see, the name itself gives me what it contains or contents of that particular point. So statistical process control in this point, statistical process control, the process will be controlled statistically. That is the meaning of this point. So how you control the process? See, process means any ongoing process. For example, suppose in my college, my process is when admission starts, my process will be started. And when the students pass out, that is for first year only, okay? For 1 year. Okay, the process for my institution is for 1 year. So when the process starts, suppose the student is admitted, that's for first year, not for second year. Admitted for first year, then process will be started, and it ends when he or she gets the result. So that is the process which will be followed in my institution. Okay. So in this process, if it is controlled or if it is diagnosed statistically or analyzed statistically, then we say that it is a statistical process control. So how will diagnose it? See, actually in the process we have a process is of some days, it may be of some hours, it may be of some years. Okay, so if it is of 1 year, then the process itself contains many processes. Okay, for example, admission process is the first process. Then second process, that is after admission he gets the division. Then after getting the division, he gets the timetable and the lecture will be started. Okay, and after lecture will be started, he gets again a batch for practical. Then after practical starts, submissions and all are in between. Then in the examination, that is examination process is enrolled. Then he must fill up the form of examination. Then he gets a roll number or page number for the examination. Okay, so these are some processes, small processes, including 1 year. Okay, so all processes are connected. If the student is not admitted, then how I can give G for the particular student? How I can give or allot a division? No, I can't. Okay, so that means the process. And in this process, I have small processes which are connected with each other. So that is nothing but statistical process control. So we can control the processes statistically, then it is nothing but statistical process control. Okay. So that means we can improve first of all, we can have these processes. Okay. So after having these processes, I can write the procedure for having the process, any specific process. Then after writing the format or writing the standard form, after having that particular, I can monitor the process or I can observe the process, and after observing the process, I know that there are some lacunae present in the process. Then I can remove these lacunae, getting the concept. So that is nothing but we can control the processes statistically. Okay. Now next will be I have magnificent tools of quality. 7 HPC tools. I have magnificent 7 SPC tools of quality. Magnificent 7 SPC, statistical process control. SPC, statistical process control. So we have 7 SPC tools which will be considered while improving the quality. So which are the histogram, then I have check sheet, then cause and effect diagram, scatter diagram, then I have fishbone diagram, which is also called as defect concentration diagram, then I have control chart, okay, and one more check sheet or parameter. No check sheet, not parameter. Okay. So histogram, check sheet, Pareto chart, cause and effect diagram, defect concentration diagram, scatter diagram, and last will be control chart. Okay. So these are some of the tools which will be used in the process control. Okay. So some of the tools you know in HYBSC only. Okay. So which are these tools? The first tool, histogram. Histogram, the process on how we can draw the histogram that will be known to you in HYBSC only actually. Okay. So what is histogram? Histogram means we can draw a graph of classes versus frequency, and the maximum height of that particular, and we can draw a rectangle corresponding to a frequency. So highest rectangle represents the maximum frequency for that particular class or for that particular year. Getting the method. So for example, see, it looks in this manner. So I have histogram. So classes are there. So suppose I have year. So, and these are the frequency related to that particular year. Suppose 2010, then 2011, then 2012. Then for this year, I have the student capacity, suppose 5,000 and say 10,000. So, for the year 2010, I have capacity of my college is 6,000. Then again it will be increased in the next year. Again it will be increased in the next year. Okay. So that is nothing but the histogram. That is, we can draw a rectangle corresponding to frequency, and there is no gap between the two rectangles. Okay. There is no gap between the two rectangles. Getting the concept? Okay. So that is nothing but histogram. This you know. Over here we divide the range of data into intervals called as classes, interval cells, or it is also called as bins. This is nothing but classes, intervals, cells, or it is also called as bins. Okay. So that is nothing but histogram. Getting the concept? How we draw the histogram? I have classes on x-axis and frequency against y-axis, and we can draw for any specific class. I can draw a frequency, and that particular frequency represents the height of that particular rectangle, or the characteristic or property of that particular rectangle will be represented by the frequency or height of that particular rectangle. Okay. So that is nothing but my first SPC tool, which is histogram. Okay. Now next, what we have? See. The next will be see. I can't explain you one by one, but I can explain which will be covered in the last year only. That we can explain in the course, and then I can explain the remaining one. Okay. So histogram, that you know. Then again what you know, scatter diagram. That is also in FIBSC correlation topic only. You can see the scatter diagram. So what is scatter diagram? In the scatter diagram, I have the values of x against x-axis and values of y against y-axis, and I can draw the points of that particular value. So for the pair of x and y, I can draw a point. For one pair, I can get the first dot. For the second pair, I get the second dot. For the third pair, I get the third dot. In this manner, I can draw the dot of x and y pair. So for example, x is height and y is weight. Then related to height, suppose for me, I have some height and weight. So for that particular height, suppose it is against x-axis height and y-axis it will be weight. Okay. So what we do? For my height, my weight will be considered, and that dot will be given in the diagram. Getting the concept? So not see. For x1, the pair of y1 will be used. Okay. For x2 pair of y2 will be used. For x3 pair of y3 will be used and so on. I cannot use x1 against y2 or x1 against y3 or x1 against x2. Okay. So the data is misleading or the graph will not give me the correct answer. It will be misleading. Okay. So suppose any data is missing, I can't plot that particular point, or I may find the value of that particular by using regression analysis. Getting the concept? Suppose I don't know this y1 over here. Then you may drop that particular point. You can't plot without y1. So what can I do? I can find the value of y1 by using regression analysis. So after fitting the value, or after having the graph, I can plot the graph, then I can find the regression equation, and after having the regression equation, I can put the value of x1, which is known to me, and by using that particular value, I can estimate the value of y1. It is not the exact value of y1. Okay, so that is nothing but the scatter plot, or it is also called as scatter diagram. Okay, getting the concept? So over here in the scatter diagram, what do you see? See, the interpretations are like this. Suppose data are in this format. Say I have my this graph. Okay. So suppose graph looks in this manner, then we will say that there is a positive correlation. There is a high degree positive correlation. Okay. Suppose the graph in this manner, then it is low degree positive correlation. Suppose I get exact one line, then it is perfect positive correlation. Perfect positive correlation. And suppose I have negative correlation, then graph is in this manner. This is high degree negative correlation. If the points are very scattered in manner, then it is a low degree negative correlation. And we may have, suppose in this manner, then it is perfectly negative correlation. Okay. So that is nothing but my scatter diagram, or the second species tool, that is scatter diagram, or it is also called as scatter plot. Getting the concept scatter plot? Okay. So can you tell me an example of perfect positive or positively correlated and negatively correlated? Or how after having the values without drawing the graph, can you tell me the positive correlation or negative correlation? This is from FYBSC only. You have this topic in FYBSC, as well as you study in FYBSC in the topic of multiple correlation and regression, isn't it? So, can you tell me the answer? What is positive correlation, or in which two values I get positive correlation or negative correlation? Okay. So see, positive correlation means we can get the values which are increased. That is, suppose x value increases, y value will also increase, or x value decreases, y value also decreases. In this case, we get a positive correlation. In this case, we get a positive correlation. Suppose, for example, see, suppose demand will be increased. Suppose a manufacturing company is there, okay, and demand of product will be increased. High demand will be there for any product there, and most supply that particular product in high level, isn't it? That is, I must supply the product in large quantity because the demand of that particular product will be high. Getting the concept? So both will be increased. Okay, and if one value is increased, the other will be decreased, or if this value is increased, this value will be decreased, then we get a negative correlation. So that means over here, example is say price and demand. Suppose price will be increased, obviously demand will be decreased. Okay, if I need to increase the demand, then price must be decreased in this manner. Okay, so that is positive correlation and the example of negative correlation. Okay, now next will be control chart. What is control chart? So let me have a look. The control chart will be studied in SYBSC of topic. You have the topic statistical quality control. In the statistical quality control, you have the control chart, and in control chart, the control chart will be given by which scientist? Yes, which scientist? Control chart. In SYBSC only you can study the control chart. you have three lines. And do you know the name? Yes, you know, but do you remember it? W.A. Sheward. W.A. Walter A. Sheward, the scientist which will give us the control chart. So, let me draw the control chart over here. For the control chart, you have sample number and sample average is there. Okay, and I have the three lines corresponding to this, that is LCL, CL and UCL. Do you remember this? Okay, so what is LCL? Lower control limit. LCL means control limit and upper control limit. Okay, so I can now draw the scatter point over here. So I can draw the scatter point. So if all the points are in between LCL and UCL, then I will say that my plot is, or my process is in control. My process is in control. If some of the points are below LCL, that is in this region, or some of the points are above LCL, that is in this region, then we say that the process is out of control. The process is out of control. Okay? So that is my third HPC tool. That is my third HPC tool. In this W.A. Sheward, you have many scattered plots, many control charts. The first control chart is X bar, that is it is for averages, that is it is for quantitative characteristics. For quantitative characteristics, you have two graphs which was studied in SYBSU. So these are, my first is X bar chart, then I have R chart, R that is range chart. Okay, so that is two. Then I have qualitative chart also. So to check the quality in qualitative manner, not in quantitative but in qualitative manner. So suppose breaking is there. Okay, so suppose my apparatus is in glassware. I have glassware, and some of the parts will be break. Okay, so you can say how much it will be break? Is it 60%, 20%? No, it will be break. So that is the quantitative. It is not quantitative characteristic, but it is qualitative characteristic. So we can study the defect. Okay, so defective part. The experiment will be defective. Okay, so that is nothing but qualities, and for the qualities you have NP chart, then P chart, D chart. In this manner, you was studying in SYBSU. It is not in this topic, but I will only remember this. Okay, so that these are the three charts which will be studied in SYBSU. That is, in FY and SYBSU, you know this process control chart. Okay. Now next will be check sheet. So check sheet. So what is check sheet? See. So what is the check sheet? See. A check sheet can be very useful in the data collection. When a designer a check sheet, it is important to clearly specify type of data, then to be collected, the part of operations number, the date, the analyst, and any other information useful in diagnosing the cause of poor performance. See, so that means my check sheet will be useful while I collect the data. So while I collect the data on the check sheet, I must represent the date, who collects the data, for what purpose it will be collected, then who is the analyst who collects the data, then any other information useful for that particular data. That is the check sheet. So the check sheet, in the check sheet I have some, suppose I have one check sheet. So the check sheet defect data of year 2015. Defect data of year 2015. In this defect data I have parts damaged. So check sheet is of this type. Parts damaged. Then I have the second part, suppose machine problem and raw material. Machine problem and raw material. So these are the parts which contains in the check sheet. So if the check sheet is of 12 months, okay. So the first month, second month, third month, fourth month, up to I have 12 months data with me. Okay. So over here I have some numbers which are present. So see, 1, 2, dash, 3, 4, 3, 4. Again some dashes are there over here. So 2, 1, 3, dash, 0, or it may be say 5. Okay, and raw material 2, 1, 3, dash, 0, and 1. So what is represented? See, in the first month of the year, when my year starts, so in the first month of the year, how many parts will be damaged? One part will be damaged. In that month only, how many machine problems are occurred? There are 2 machine problems which will be occurred in the process. And how many raw material will be defective? 2. Okay. So I can have this check sheet in this manner. So I can improve my process by getting the raw material which is not defective. Then I can remove the machine problem so that it will be less in the next month. Okay. So that is the performance. That is, we can, in the data analysis stage only, I can perform the analysis. Okay. So getting the check sheet. Okay. So these are the 4 HPC tools which will be studied in this lecture. First will be histogram, second will be scatter diagram, then control chart, and this is called as check sheet.